Hello. So as you can see, Miss P is not here today. I'm at a training. However, Miss P recorded this lesson. That way we can still learn and do everything that we were supposed to, even though Miss P was not here. So we need to make sure that we're on our best behavior for Miss Swan and making good choices. Because if we can get that good note that we did a really good job, and I can tell that we did our work and did what we're supposed to, then I might have something for you. Okay, so you need your pencil, your math journal, and a Chromebook today. Pencil, math journal, and Chromebook. Okay. So your warm-up today is strawberries cost $2.82 per pound. The weight of several different containers of strawberries are listed below. Would each container cost more than $2.82 or less than $2.82? So you're going to pause the video and answer the question. Strawberries cost $2.82 per pound. The weight of several different containers of strawberries are listed below. Would each container cost more than $2.82 or less than $2.84? Pause, answer the question, and I'll see you when you're done. Okay, so for 3/4, that means that I would be doing $2.82 times 3/4, because 3/4 is less than a whole. The numerator is smaller than the denominator. You should have checked less than $2.82. Okay, for 8/3, you would be doing $2.82 times 8/3, because that is an improper fraction. Because the top number is bigger than the bottom, you should have checked more than $2.82. Okay, for the last one, you do $2.82 times 1.5. Since 1.5 is more than one whole, there's a whole number there. You should have checked more than $2.82. Remember, when it's a regular fraction, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. It's getting less. But if it is an improper fraction where the top number is bigger, or it's a mixed number, meaning there's a whole, that means my answer is getting more. I didn't even have to solve those. As long as I can remember that if it's less than a whole, it's getting smaller, and if it's more than a whole, it's getting bigger, I don't actually need to solve them to figure that out. All right, let's practice multiplying two fractions. With models, we're going to do 3/4 times 4/3. So you're going to answer the question, and I will see you when you're back. Pause, answer the question. Okay, so for 3/4, I'm going to split it into 4 pieces horizontally. That means side to side. And I would color in 3. And then for my other one, it says 4/3. So that means because the top number is bigger, that means that I need 2. And I would have 2. Oh, sorry, that's fourths. I need 3 pieces, but I need 2 because I need to color in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 4/3 colored in. So now to figure out my answer, I have to combine my 2 pictures. Okay, so I'm going to split them into 4, going side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I only need 2. Okay, and I'm going to color in 3 pieces, going side to side, 3 of the 4 pieces on both of them. Okay, and then for 4/3, I'm going to split them into 3 pieces vertically, going up and down, and I'm going to color in 4 of the pieces. So now, how many pieces are in each square? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So since they both have 12 in the whole, my denominator is 12. Okay, now if I count the pieces with both colors, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These 12 pieces right here have both colors, so it'd be 12 over 12. But what do we know about a fraction that the numerator and denominator are the same? Thing in your head? That would be equal to 1 whole, because the numerator and the denominator are the same. And remember we talked about yesterday, I noticed that when I multiplied those, 3 times 4 is 12, and that was what was on the top, and 4 times 3 was 12, and that was what was on the bottom. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so in 6th grade, we learned how to multiply fractions. So we're going to take notes on the steps for how to multiply fractions. So go ahead and open up your journal, and on your next blank page, you're going to write multiply fractions. Okay, and then I actually want you to split your paper into 2. Okay. Actually, no. I'm going to change it. Okay. Right, multiply fractions up at the top. Leave a little bit of space for your examples, and your example part is what I want split into 2. Okay, so let's think of 2 multiplying fraction problems. So let's say 2/3 times 4/5. Okay, but then I also want to do one with a mixed number. So we're going to say 3 1/4 times 5/6. Okay, so for step 1, if you have a mixed number, then you need to change to improper fraction. So if you have a mixed number, then change to a improper fraction. Then I'm going to do a second sentence that says you do this by multiplying the denominator times the whole, then adding the numerator. And I will leave this paper on the board over here so that you can copy from my paper when you're doing notes, okay? So does this one have a mixed number? No, it does not. So I can skip step 1 for this one, but this one does, okay? So to change the 3 1/4 to a mixed number, I'm going to multiply the 3 and the 4 and add the 1. So 3 times 4 would be 12, plus 1 would be 13. So my new fraction would be 13 over 4 times 5/6. I multiplied the denominator 4 times 3 to get 12, and then I added the numerator 1 to get 13. The denominator stays 4. Second step. If you do not have a mixed number, then multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. Okay, so in this one, if you do not have a mixed number, then multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. So in this one, I did not have any mixed numbers. So I would multiply the 2 times the 4, because those are the two numbers on top, and I get 8. And then I multiply the denominators, the 2 on bottom, the 3 times the 5, and that is 15. Okay? On this one, I don't have a mixed number anymore because I already changed it. So I would multiply the two numbers on top, the 13 times the 5. I am not quite sure what that is, so I need to come over to the side and solve it. 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to put the 5, carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 more is 6, so a 65 should go on the top. And then I multiply the two numbers on the bottom. 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, so I multiply the two numbers on the top, multiply the two numbers on the bottom. Okay, for my third step, if it is an improper fraction, then divide the numerator by the denominator. Until you have a remainder or 0. So if you have an improper fraction, then divide the numerator by the denominator until you have a remainder or 0. So for the first one, we got 8/15. Is that an improper fraction? No, it is not, because 8 is smaller than 15. But for this one over here, I have 65 over 24. That is an improper fraction because the top number, the numerator 65, is bigger than the bottom number, or the denominator 24. So I would need to do 24 divided by 65. Okay, 24 can't go into 6, so I put a 0. Figure out how many times 24 can go into 65. I'm going to make my list of 24. So 24 plus 24 would be 48. 24 plus 48 would be 72, and that's too big. So it can go in 2 times, and I would subtract 48. I can't do 5 take away 8, $5. I can't take away $8. So I borrow from the 6 and make that a 5. 15 minus 8 would be 7. 5 minus 4 would be 1. So the 2 that's on top becomes my whole. Okay, I'm going to label that. The 2 that's on top becomes my whole. So I'm going to write 2 wholes. Okay, the 17 that is my remainder becomes my numerator. So a 17 goes on top of my fraction, and then a 24 stays on the bottom. Okay, now the fourth step says simplify by dividing the numerator and denominator by the same number. So I need to think about what could I, for my first one, 8/15. Is there anything that I could count by that I would say 8 and 15? No, 2 doesn't work because 15 is odd. I don't say 15 whenever I count by 2s. So it is actually already simplified. So my answer would be 8/15. Okay. Now for this one, 17 and 24. Is there anything that I count by that I would say 17 and 24? Nope, 2 doesn't work because 17 is an odd number. So it's already simplified too. So for this one, the answer would be 2 and 17 24s. Okay, again, I'm going to leave this up here. So if you need to copy the notes from there, you can. But I am going to check your journal tomorrow to make sure that we have our notes. Okay. And I'll even do like this. I'll kind of bring it closer and leave it just like this. You can pause the video and write. If you don't want to get up and go to the board, you could pause the video and write. Okay, when you're done with the notes, we're going to practice a couple problems. Okay, so 5/7 times 5/7 times 4/8. I want you to solve this one on your own. You're going to solve this one on your own. Pause, solve. All right, so you should have already solved. We do 5 times 4, that is 20. Then we do 7 times 8, that is 56. Now, can this be simplified? Is there something that I count by that I would say 20 and 56? Let's think about it. 2's. So, okay, if I did 20 divided by 2, that would be 10. And if I did 56 divided by 2, that would be 28. Am I done? I'm not done. I could divide by 2 again. What is 10 divided by 2? 5. What is 28 divided by 2? 14. So my real answer would be 5/14. 20 over 56 won't be there. We have to simplify. Okay, now I want you to pause and you're going to do 9/11 times 8/3. And in this one, remember, because we had 4/8 and 5/7, those are both less than a whole. So my answer got smaller because both of them, the top number is bigger than the bottom number. Do 9/11 times 8/3. Pause. Come back when you're done. Okay, so you should have done 9 times 8. That was 72. Then you should have done 11 times 3, and that is 33. Now this one, our answer is going to get bigger because 8/3 is an improper fraction. The top is bigger than the bottom. Okay, so 72 over 33. I noticed, what do you notice? Say it in your head. You should be noticing that the top is bigger than the bottom. So that means I have to divide. Remember, the top number falls in the house. So the 72 goes inside, the 33 goes outside. 33 can go into 0 times. Let's make our list of 33s. Next would be 66, then 99, but 99 is too big. So it can go in 2 times. I'm going to subtract 66. By $2, I can't take away 6, so I've got to borrow. That becomes a 6. That becomes 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. And I don't want to add a decimal or a 0. I want a fraction. So remember, the 2 on top becomes my whole. So that would be 2 wholes. The 6 that is the remainder becomes my numerator. So the 6 goes on top, and the 33 stays on the bottom. Am I done? I'm actually not done, because what do I say whenever I count by 6's and 33's? They could both be divided by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 33 divided by 3 is 11. So the real answer that you would have to have is 2 and 2 over 11. 72 over 33 won't be there. 2 and 6 over 33 won't be there. 2 and 2/11 is the only answer that would be there. Okay, let's see if we have any more practice problems. Okay, so I'm going to give us a problem this time. We're going to do 3 7/8 times 5/12. So can I just multiply it like this? No, I cannot just multiply it like this. I have to change this mixed number to an improper fraction. And if you weren't sure of the answer, look at your notes. Step 1 tells me I can't have a mixed number. I have to change it to an improper fraction. What do I do to change a mixed number to an improper fraction? Think or look at your notes. Step 1 of the notes tells you. Ooh, very good. I've got to change it to an improper fraction, and I do that by multiplying the denominator and the whole and adding the numerator. So I do 3 times 8, which is 24, and then I do 24 plus 7, which is 31. So I'd have 31 over 8 times 5/12. Okay, so I need to go ahead and solve this one. Okay, 31 times 5, that would be, I don't know that in my head. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15, so that would be 155. Okay, and 8 times 12, I don't know that one in my head either. 8 times 2 is 16, carry the 1. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 1 more is 9, so that'd be 155 over 96. But that's an improper fraction. The top is too big. So what do I need to do? Think. If you don't know, look at your notes. Step 3 tells you. Oh, what do you know? We divide. So remember, the top number falls inside, so the 96 is outside. 155 is inside. So 96 can go into 1 0 times, 15 0 times. I'm going to write my list of 96s. So 96 plus 96 would be 192. Oof, but that's already too big. So I can only go in one time. I subtract 96. So I can't do 5 take away 6. If I have $5, I can't give you 6. So that becomes a 4. That becomes a 15. 15 minus 6 is 9. If I have $4, I can't give you 9. So I've got to borrow. That becomes 0. That becomes 14. 14 minus 9 is 5. Okay. So I remember the number on top becomes my whole. So I have one whole, and the remainder becomes my numerator. So it would be 59, and then my denominator stays 56. So it'd be 1 and 59 over 96. It cannot be simplified because 59 is a prime number. So there's nothing that I can divide by and get 59. Okay, so 1 and 59 over 96. Let's do one more practice problem like this. Okay, so I'm going to do 10 1/4 times 7/3. Okay, so what do I will have to do first? Oh, yep, you're right. I've got to change that 10 1/4 to an improper fraction. If you weren't sure what to do, look at step 1 on your notes. How do I do that? I want you to write what this would be as an improper fraction. Pause the video, write what it would be as an improper fraction. Okay, to figure out the improper fraction, we multiply the denominator and the whole and add the numerator. So 10 times 4 would be 40, plus 1 would be 41 over 4 times 7 over 3. Okay, so I multiply the top numbers. Go ahead and solve it. Figure out what your answer would be. 41 times 7, that would be 7. That'd be 28, so 287. And then multiply the denominators. 4 times 3 would be 12. Am I done? No, that's an improper fraction. What do I do when it's an improper fraction? Pause. Put in what the answer should be. Okay, if it's an improper fraction, then I divide. It's in step 3 in your notes. So remember, the top number goes inside, so 287 goes inside, 12 goes on the outside. 12 can't go into 2, 12 can't go into 24. Let's make my 28. Let's make my list. 12, then next comes 24, then 36, but 36 is too big, so it can go in 2 times. I subtract 24, that's 4. Bring down the 7. How many times can 12 go into 47? Well, I got to finish my list, so after 36 is 48, and that's too big, so it can go in 3 times. I subtract 36, and I get 11. So I'm done because there's nothing else to bring down. Remember, the top number becomes my whole. So I have 23 wholes. My remainder becomes my numerator. So that would be 11. And then my denominator stays 12. So my answer would be 23 and 11 twelfths. 23 and 11 twelfths. Okay. We're going to skip over those. Okay, so first you're going to do your exit ticket. So everybody do your exit ticket first. That is for a grade. So make sure that you use your notes, look at what we did on your notes, and then make sure you get that exit ticket turned in. If you do not turn in your exit ticket, you will have a 0. Make sure to turn in your exit ticket. Then, if you get done with that, you are going to do math book page 138 and 139. Okay, math book page 138, 139. Whenever you're done, do math book page 138, 139. And today's going to be a little bit different. When you get done with that, I want you to rip it out and I want you to turn it into your bucket because I'm going to look at what you did. Even if you just did one problem, I want to look at how much you did because the kids that show me that they're working, they finished their exit ticket, they're working on their independent practice. I can tell that you were staying focused and getting math done. The more that you are doing, the better the prize is going to be, okay? So do page 138 and 139. Turn in what you did of that. If you finish your exit ticket and page 138 and 139, then you'd work on today's assignment on STEM scopes. Okay, so 3 things that we should get done. The exit ticket, math book page 138, 139, and then our STEM scopes assignment. If you get done with all 3 of those, excellent day for you. Okay, if by some chance you finish all 3 of those, the exit ticket, page 138 through 139, and the STEM scope assignments, and you still have more time left, then go ahead and get on Imagine Math, okay? But make sure we have that exit ticket in page 138 and 139 in STEM scopes because all 3 of those are for grades. Okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. Please, 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 please be on our best behavior. We shouldn't be getting up. We shouldn't be being crazy. We shouldn't be talking. You've got plenty of things to do. I will see you back tomorrow. If we have a bad note, you're not going to like what happens. There's going to be consequences. If we had a good day, we got a lot of work done, we were focused and watching the video, then there's going to be good things for you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.